increases 100 times, place the factor the master son of villages. Vidya, with education. Maya, gentleness. Sampale, fully equipped. Brahmana, in Brahmana. Gavi, in the car. Astini, in the elephant. Suni, in the dog. Cha, and Eva, suffering. Sapake, in the dog eater. Haka, Cha, and sorry, respectively. Panditaha, those who are wise. Samadashinaha, who see with equal vision. Translation of the humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a land and a gentle brain, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog's apples. Please kindly respond to it. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal learned and gentle brown. A cow, a dog, and a dog eater. Report. A Krishna conscious person does not make any distinction between species or castes. The Brahman, the caste may be different from social point of view, or a dog, a cow, and an elephant may be different from the point of view of species. But these differences of body are manifest from the viewpoint of a learned transcendental. This is due to a relationship with the Spirit. For the Supreme Lord, by his plenary portion as Paramatma, is present in everyone's heart. Such an understanding of the Supreme is real knowledge. As far as the bodies are concerned, in different kinds or different species of life, the Lord is equally kind to everyone because He treats every living being as a friend, yet maintains Himself as the Paramatma regardless of the circumstances of the event. The Lord as Paramatma is present both in the outcomes and in the Brahman. Although the body of Brahman is that of an outcast, not the same. The bodies and material productions of different modes of material nature, and the soul and the super soul within the body are of the same spiritual identity, same spiritual form. The similarity in quality of soul and super soul, however, does not make them equal in quantity. For the individual soul is present only in that particular body, whereas the Paramatma is present in each and every body. The Krishna conscious person has full knowledge of this, and therefore he is truly learned, not equal reason. The similar characteristics of the soul, super soul, are that they are both conscious, eternal, and blissful. But the difference is that the individual soul is conscious within the limited jurisdiction of the body, whereas the super soul is conscious of all bodies. The super soul is present in all bodies without distinction. Come again to round this out because it's not so the time to give. Say it good. Radha Krishna Pada Saha Nanamita Saka Hey Krishna Karunam Sindhu Prema Panu Om Shah Govina Tata Rancha Radhe Krishna Chite Vanshaka Kutari Richa Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Bhakti Vedanta Swami Krishna Namaste Saraswati. So welcome everyone to this evening program taking place here in ISKCON New Alipore here in Kolkata, West Bengal, India.
तो हम आप सबका आज के संध्याकालीन कार्यक्रम में स्वागत करते हैं जो कि ISKCON न्यू अलीपुर कोलकाता में।
So this text is giving us some understanding about the behavioral pattern, the attitude of a devotee towards everybody.
तो इस प्रसंग में आज के श्लोक में हमें समझने को मिल रहा है कि एक संत व्यक्ति का किस प्रकार से आचरण का शैली होता है, उनका मनोभाव कैसा होता है सभी प्रकार के जीवों के प्रति।
So one who is truly learned does not discriminate against anyone based on caste or based on spiritual class.
ज्ञानी व्यक्ति जो है वो भेदभाव नहीं करता है, जाति के ऊपर भेदभाव नहीं करता है, या श्रेणी के ऊपर जो है भेदभाव नहीं करता।
One who is truly learned sees everyone in the light of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in the heart of everyone as a part of. In other words, the pure souls, they see the transcendental, the true sages, they don't see the body. They identify with the super soul and the soul within each and every body. That is why they don't discriminate.
ज्ञानी व्यक्ति क्या करता है, सभी जीवों को जो है भगवान के प्रकाश के रूप में देखते हैं, तो वो कैसा है कि वो किसी को भी शरीर के रूप में नहीं देख रहे हैं, वो आत्मा के रूप में देख रहे हैं, क्योंकि भगवान के जो परमा
What is this text? What is the problem that this text is trying to address in this world?
तो प्रश्न ये है कि ये जो आज का श्लोक है ये समाज की हमारे जीवन की कौन सी समस्या का जो है समाधान बता रहा है या कौन सी दुखी को सुलझा रहा है.
Yes, the floor is open now for critical creativity. Tell us, what is this text trying to address? You heard it proper. You heard the text. What is the problem that this Lord Krishna is addressing here in this world?
भगवान कौन सी समस्या का के ऊपर जो है ये समाज की जगत की कौन सी समस्या के ऊपर भगवान जो है बता रहे हैं या भगवान जो है इशारा कर रहे हैं. तो थोड़ा सोच के विचार के बताइए.
Or do we think Krishna is just philosophizing?
क्या हमें लगता है कि भगवान कृष्ण जो है ऐसे ही इधर-उधर की दार्शनिक बातें कर रहे हैं, दार्शनिक.
Krishna does not philosophize. He speaks and is addressing a problem.
तो भगवान जो है केवल व्यर्थ के दार्शनिक दर्शन की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. भगवान एक जटिल समस्या के बारे में बता रहे हैं.
Yes, can someone help us? Tell us. You had the purport. You had the main text. What is this text trying to address? What is the problem in this world that this text is addressing?
ये जो प्रश्न है, ये जो श्लोक है, तात्पर्य है प्रभुपाद, ये समाज की कौन सी समस्या के बारे में संकेत कर रहा है?
Bolo.
कौन
Yes.
बताना चाहेंगे?
How to see unity in diversity?
How to see unity in diversity. That's a good one. Yes. Anyone else?
How everyone is misidentifying with the body.
How everyone is misidentifying with the body, and that is called identity crisis. Good one. Oh yeah, this text is talking about identity crisis. Why we are fighting amongst ourselves. You see, most of the troubles that the world is facing is because of identity crisis. And Krishna is addressing identity crisis.
तो समस्या है आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस अर्थात पहचान में गोलमोल होना. तो ये पहचान में गोलमोल होने की वजह से लोगों के पहचान में ही गड़बड़ है या गोलमोल है या भ्रम की अवस्था है. उसी की वजह से समाज में ज्यादातर लड़ाई झगड़े होते हैं.
See, most of the issues that are going on, even the First World War, this is the root cause of the problem. Second World War, this is the root cause of the problem. Identity crisis. Identity crisis. Civil wars that are going on all over the planet. If you go deep, it's same issue. Identity crisis.
तो हम देखते हैं ये विश्व युद्ध में भी, प्रथम विश्व युद्ध में, द्वितीय विश्व युद्ध में मूल कारण क्या है? ये पहचान का गड़बड़ होना. कि हमें अपनी पहचान का ही सही अवगत नहीं है ना. और जितने भी देशों के बीच में झगड़े होते हैं, लड़ाई होती है, सिविल वॉर जिसको बोलते हैं, सामाजिक जो युद्ध है, वो सब ये पहचान के गड़बड़ होने की वजह से है.
So the true sage, the vision of the true sage is completely different from the vision of the conditioned soul. Because the true sage is not seeing bodies. He identifies people based on their spiritual identity. Spirit soul. And they are all parts and parcels of the Supreme. Super soul, Paramatma, is residing in each and every body. So he sees everybody as a temple of the Lord. A temple of the Lord is only people who are really dull-witted, who will go and destroy the temple of the Lord. Oh, yeah. So we try to be violent because of our ignorance about the fact that the bodies we see are temples of Lord Vishnu. So we see some crazy person, and we are crazy people on this planet. Even in Vrindavan, people destroy temples. You know the people.
एक संत जो होते हैं वो शरीर के रूप में नहीं देखते हैं, वो ये देखते हैं कि शरीर में परमात्मा स्थित है, और वो लोगों को आत्मा के रूप में देखते हैं, और आत्मा जो है परमात्मा के अंश है, ये देखते हैं। इसीलिए जो संत व्यक्ति हैं वो ये देखते हैं कि हर एक व्यक्ति जो है वो भगवान का एक मंदिर है, क्योंकि हृदय में भगवान जो है परमात्मा रूप में विराजमान है। तो वो एक बहुत ही निम्न श्रेणी का व्यक्ति हो सकता है, जो कि भगवान के एक मंदिर को क्षति पहुंचाए। तो वो एक बहुत ही निम्न और बहुत ही उच्च श्रेणी का मनोभाव का ही व्यक्ति हो सकता है, जो ऐसा घिनौना कार्य करने की इच्छा रख सकता है। हम देखते हैं कुछ लोग वृंदावन में मंदिर को क्षति पहुंचाते हैं, लेकिन ऐसा जो है बहुत ही घिनौना जो है विचारधारा है।
So each time shooting and killing people is not very popular. It's not very rampant in India. In America, it's very rampant. Every here and then you hear someone shot. Someone is he's laughing. Every year and then you hear someone is shot dead. And in the UK, every year and then you hear someone is stabbed to death, 30 times or 70 times stabbing to death. So but it's the same violence. People are Lord Vishnu is being forced to vacate from his temple by conditioned souls.
तो हम देखते हैं विश्व भर में हिंसा जो है बहुत ही प्रमुख है। जैसे अमेरिका में देखते हैं कोई भी किसी को भी मार देता है, गोली मार देता है, और ये यूके में भी देखते हैं, इंग्लैंड में वो चाकू से 30 बार 70 बार ऐसे मार के शरीर को छलनी कर देते हैं। तो ये जो हिंसा है, ये इसमें क्या हो रहा है कि जो व्यक्ति है भगवान विष्णु को उनके मंदिर को छोड़ने को जो है मजबूर कर रहे हैं। तो ये बड़ा घिनौना कृति है।
So, to be a devotee, an authentic, genuine devotee, means we have to be a sage who sees beyond the physical bodies.
तो एक प्रामाणिक भक्त को संत होना ही चाहिए, जो कि हर व्यक्ति को आत्मा के रूप में देखे, शरीर के स्तर से ऊपर देखे, आत्मा के स्तर से।
So the conditioned soul views the environment based on physical bodies. Conditioned souls view the environment. Environment constitutes of humans too. So conditioned souls, we view environment based on bodies. And the bodies that we reflect on or we view are simply, we think they are just meant for our exploitation. This is material vision. Lord Krishna mentions also in the Gita, conditioned souls, we have been exploiting the resources of material nature since time immemorial. We are exploiters. We are very good at exploiting the resources of material nature because of the identity crisis.
एक बद्ध जीव जो है वो जो है वातावरण को शरीर के रूप में देखता है, और शरीर को वो क्या है, शोषण की वस्तु समझता है। तो हम जो है बद्ध जीव का कैसा दृष्टिकोण है, बद्ध जीव जो है या बद्धावस्था में हम सब जो है वो बहुत निपुण है ये शोषण करने में।
So the training that we are receiving in Prabhupada's mission and Prabhupada's movement is to rise above, is to become transcendentalists, is to become sages, where we see people on equal vision.
तो श्रील प्रभुपाद जी के आंदोलन में हम जो प्रशिक्षण प्राप्त कर रहे हैं वो ये है कि वो संत बनने का प्रशिक्षण है, कि हमारा जो दृष्टिकोण है सभी को जो है एक समान स्तर पे आत्मा के रूप में देखें।
So it's very common that we see a small body or a small child, or we are older than somebody, and we think, I know better than you. What can you tell me?
बहुत आम है कि हम किसी बच्चे को देखते हैं, किसी ऐसे व्यक्ति को देखते हैं जिनसे हम उम्र में ज्यादा हैं, और हमें लगता है अरे तुम तो छोटे हो, मैं तुमसे ज्यादा जानता हूँ, तुम मुझे क्या सिखा सकते हो।
I remember some years ago, I was in Manapa for a Baptist Social program. And then there was a Guru Koli, white boy also in class. So this boy asked the teacher, I don't want to describe the teacher, but it's this one teacher. So he asked the teacher some question. And you know what the teacher said? He said, yeah, just a small boy. What do you know? Sit down there.
महाराज जी मायापुर का वृत्तांत बता रहे हैं कि एक गुरुकुल के छात्र थे, बालक थे, उन्होंने अध्यापक को एक प्रश्न पूछा, तो अध्यापक बोलते हैं अरे तुम क्या जानते हो, तुम तो छोटे बच्चे हो, चुपचाप बैठ जाओ।
And sometimes people ask us questions and we judge them by their bodies. I remember the home I used to stay in upstate New York. So their first, these are grandparents now. So their first child is not a devotee, it's a Christian. So I asked the mother, why? And she explained to me. Now, when the boy was small, the preachers, you listen. When the boy was small, she brought the boy to the temple. And so someone gave a class. One of ISKCON top shots gave a class. And then the boy, during question and answers, he asked a question. And the boy was fired, for asking a question that it's a stupid question. So after the Sunday program, when they were going home, that little boy, he told the mother, Mom, I am not going to your temple with you from today. That's how he stopped going to the temple. So we tend to judge people based on their bodies. Identity crisis. That's my point.
तो हम जो हैं लोगों का मूल्यांकन के शरीर को देख के करते हैं। कोई यदि प्रश्न पूछता है तो फिर शरीर को देख के मूल्यांकन करते हैं। महाराज जी एक परिवार के बारे में बता रहे हैं न्यूयॉर्क में, तो वहां पे वो देखे कि जो माता पिता हैं भक्त हैं, लेकिन जो पहला जो सबसे ज्येष्ठ जो पुत्र हैं वो क्रिश्चियन थे। तो महाराज जी बोले ऐसा कैसे हो गया? उनकी माता ने बताया कि वो एक बार बच्चे को लेके गए थे मंदिर में, वहां पे एक प्रवक्ता जो है, प्रवक्ता भक्त जो है, जो प्रवचन कर रहे थे, तो ये छोटे बच्चे ने एक प्रश्न पूछा और प्रवक्ता ने उनको पूरी तरह से प्रताड़ित कर दिया। तो वो बच्चे के हृदय में इतना आघात हुआ, उन्होंने अपनी मम्मी को बोला कि आज के बाद मैं आपके इस मंदिर में नहीं आ रहा हूँ। और उसके बाद वो जो है ये क्रिश्चियन ईसाई धर्म को अपना लिए।
So the bottom line is that when we see people as spirit souls, like it's described in this text, in the purport described, if we identify people as spirit souls, we will not minimize them because of their age, because of their gender. We will not minimize them. And see, I've been conducting some research on gender washing leadership in ISKCON, and so many women have felt very, very marginalized by us, by the men. In some cases, I know in some cases in Europe, I connected that research, the respondents, I got stories like, it's like we are not wanted. Yeah. But then they question that. But we say we are not these bodies. This is the point. We say we are not these bodies. How do we implement that in our lives? To speak Aham Brahmasmi, anybody can speak that. But the important thing is to be able to implement applicability of the theoretical frameworks of the teachings of Lord Krishna in our lives will create a heavenly existence, even right here on this planet in our communities. We will not wait to go local to experience that bliss. We can experience it here.
तो जब हम दूसरों को आत्मा के स्तर पे देखते हैं तब आप उनको नीच या निम्न रूप में नहीं देखेंगे। महाराज जी बोल रहे हैं कि उन्होंने ये जेंडर के ऊपर जो है शोध किया, जो रिसर्च किया। तो कैसे, तो कई भक्त में ही कई माताओं ने यूरोप में इस प्रकार से प्रसंग सुना है कि उनको जो है निम्न देखा गया और निम्न देखा गया पुरुषों के द्वारा, पुरुष भक्तों के द्वारा, और ऐसे कि जैसे उनकी जरूरत नहीं है, उनका कोई उनको जरूरत नहीं है, इस प्रकार से देखा गया। तो देखिए अहम ब्रह्मास्मि जो है, मैं ब्रह्म हूँ, आध्यात्मिक हूँ, ऐसा बोलना बहुत आसान है, लेकिन ये जो दार्शनिक तथ्य हैं जो शास्त्र में बताए हैं, उनका हमारे जीवन में क्या प्रयोग होना चाहिए, वो महत्वपूर्ण है कि हम पालन कर रहे हैं कि नहीं इन दार्शनिक तथ्यों को। तो इन दार्शनिक तथ्यों को पालन करेंगे तो फिर इस प्रकार से किसी भी जीव को क्या है, हम निम्न नहीं देख सकते।
And therefore, it's important for us to try to cultivate this knowledge, do our sadhana with proper attention, so that we can rise above this dualistic platform where we view people based on their bodies.
तो हम तुम्हारा जी बोल रहे थे उसके आगे कि जैसे यदि आत्मा के स्तर पे लोगों को देखेंगे तो इस भौतिक जगत में ही हमको आध्यात्मिक जगत का अनुभूति होगा। तो गुरु वृंदावन तक जाने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, यहीं पे हमको आध्यात्मिक जगत पे का अनुभूति हो जाएगा और हमारा जीवन जो है वो परिपूर्ण और आनंद से भर जाएगा। तो इसीलिए हमें क्या है, ये ज्ञान को प्राप्त करना है और हमें सीखना है कि हम लोगों को शरीर के रूप में ना देखें, आत्मा के रूप में देखें।
So if we imbibe this simple philosophy, there could be peace in the whole world. There could be harmony in the whole world. If we just understand and imbibe a culture of the universality of the Paramatma and how each and every one, by each and every living entity, is by characteristics a spirit soul. And we are all, like Krishna says, we are all his parts and parcels. This very philosophical framework will create an enabling situation where we can understand and live in harmony without having to discriminate against anyone because there's a small boy, what do you know? Or you're a woman, or shut up there, what do you know? I've seen this. I was in California, in Ivan, so I got entrusted in the care of one elder, one family, husband and wife. Their grandparents. The kids are grown up, they're married, they graduated from college, they're married, and they left the big house. Only this man and his wife. So we're going for a program. And the wife was having the directions. So the wife was reading the directions to the man, to the husband. I was sitting with the husband in the front. I like to give graphic examples so that you don't say, oh, it's in Satya Yuga. No, I'm talking about. So we are going for a program. The wife was reading the directions to this man, to the husband. I repeat, they are elders. In other words, they lived together for decades. So one would have expected mutual respect for each other. But no. The man completely ignored the wife. Completely. When he ignores somebody, That is called emotional abuse. I repeat, when you ignore somebody, it's called emotional abuse. And so, when we got to the gate, so the husband stopped. I like telling this story because it's a pinprick to me. I saw it. It's called lived experience, hermeneutics. So, we got to the gate. The driver stopped. He alighted from the car. He got down and then he went to press the belt. So I came out from the car. The wife also came out from the back seat. And the wife turned to me and said that, so in this world, if you're a woman, whatever you say is nonsense. That's what he told me. I said, Martha G, see, I don't know you people before. It's my first time of coming to your home. But what you and she was fuming with hunger, you know. You can see in her countenance. And so I said, what your husband did is completely wrong. Then immediately her countenance changed. She began to smile. You know what she thought? Ah, all men don't have this type of behavior. Bolo.
तो ये जो शास्त्र का दर्शन है, यदि हम इसको अपने जीवन में पालन कर लेंगे तो शांति पूरे समाज में शांति और समृद्धि जो है वो पनपने लगेगी। तो हमें क्या है, तो ये क्या है, तथ्य क्या है कि परमात्मा जो है वो सर्वव्यापी है। तो इसके बाद महाराज जी एक कथा बता रहे थे, ये कैलिफोर्निया में एक परिवार के घर में जब महाराज जी थे तो वो गाड़ी से जा रहे थे, तो जो प्रभु जी हैं वो गाड़ी चला रहे थे। माता जी जो है वो उनको दिशा जो है वो देख रही थी मोबाइल में और वो दिशा के बारे में बता रही थी कैसे जाना है वगैरह। तो प्रभु जी जो है उनकी बात को बिल्कुल अनसुना कर दे रहे थे। और तो यहाँ महाराज जी बोल रहे थे कि देखिए ये जो निग्लेक्ट है या किसी को सम्मान नहीं देना जो है, और महत्वपूर्ण बात थी कि ये दोनों बहुत ही वृद्ध थे, इतने साल हो गए थे, उनके पोते भी थे, दादा दादी थे दोनों, इतने साल साथ में रहे थे, फिर भी जो है एक दूसरे का सम्मान नहीं किए। तो प्रभु जी ने माता जी को जो है उनकी बात को बिल्कुल अनदेखा कर दिया, उनकी विचारधारा को अनदेखा कर दिया। तो ये देख के महाराज जी को बड़ा आघात हुआ कि ऐसे जो है ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए। फिर जब वो अपने गंतव्य स्थान पे पहुंचे तो सब जब उतरे तो माता जी बहुत गुस्सा में थी। माता जी बोली कि क्योंकि मैं महिला हूँ तो इसलिए मैं जो भी बोलती हूँ सब बकवास है। तो महाराज जी ने माता जी को बोला कि नहीं, मैं पहली बार आप लोग के घर में रहा हूँ, लेकिन आपके पति ने जिस प्रकार से बर्ताव किया बिल्कुल गलत था। ये सुन के माता जी को थोड़ा सांत्वना मिला कि सभी पुरुष जो है एक तरह की विचारधारा के नहीं होते।
So this is going on. This is the problem. There is most of the men. I will not say every man. Most of the men, we think that we are better off. We are better than the women. The problem of patriarchy, and we may hear the philosophy. We may even see this type of mistreatment go on even in our own society, and I've seen this. And we don't make any effort to behave properly. In the Bhagavatam is mentioned, Pashyana Pina Pashyati. Even after seeing Pashya, even after hearing. No, we don't. We're not able to act properly. We're not able to act as sages who see the soul in each and everybody. So this is a typical case of patriarchy, and it's one of the major problems that is creating so much of frictions in the social infrastructural system in our world. The men, I repeat, most of the men, we think we are superior to the women just because we are men. But it's not true. I have seen, in the university where I was doing my PhD, The dean of the faculty of management is a woman. The head of department of this is a woman. This is a woman. This is a woman. So if you are grown in that type of environment, you don't come out and treat women despicably. Unfortunately, these things are going on. And like I mentioned, even in our own society, this type of mistreatment is going on. And the result is that we are not able to realize this very principle that Lord Krishna enunciates here. We need to see the dog eater, the elephant, and the Brahmin with the same vision, the spiritual vision, spirit souls in those bodies.
तो महाराज जी बोल रहे हैं कि कई बार तो जो पुरुष होते हैं उनको लगता है कि वो श्रेष्ठ हैं क्योंकि वो पुरुष हैं इसलिए महिला से श्रेष्ठ हैं। महाराज जी बोल रहे हैं कि देखिए ये तो ये क्या हो गया है, ये हमारे पूरे जो शास्त्र का जो उल्लेख है उसका उल्लंघन हो गया है, क्योंकि हम जैसे महाराज जी बोल रहे हैं पश्यति न पश्यति, कितनी बार हमने सुना है कि हम शरीर नहीं आत्मा है और आत्मा के स्तर पे देखना है, लेकिन उसका हमारे रोज के जीवन में पालन नहीं करते हैं। कितनी बार सुनते हैं, कितनी बार देखा है, कितनी बार पढ़ते हैं, फिर भी पालन नहीं करते हैं। महाराज जी बोल रहे थे कि जहाँ पे उन्होंने अपना जो है पीएचडी किया तो मिनियापोलिस की विश्वविद्यालय में, तो वहां पे उन्होंने देखा था कि जब वो पीएचडी में छात्र थे तो उनके जो यूनिवर्सिटी है उसके जो डीन थे वो भी एक माताजी थे, उनके डिपार्टमेंट के जो हेड थे वो भी माताजी थे, अलग अलग प्रोफेसर भी माताजी थे। महाराज जी बोल रहे हैं देखिए ऐसे वातावरण में वो उन्होंने अपना जो शिक्षण प्राप्त किया, बोले ऐसे वातावरण में शिक्षण प्राप्त करने के बाद जब उन्होंने देखा कि माताजी जो है वो इतने उच्च जो है श्रेणी पे हैं, तो कैसे माताजी इसको एक निम्न दृष्टि से देख सकते हैं। तो एक ये बड़े दुर्भाग्य की बात है कि कई बार भक्त लोग भी इस प्रकार से जो है पक्षपात करते हैं दृष्टि के कारण। यही बात ये है शास्त्र में जो है यहाँ पे बता रही है कि हमें जो है आत्मा के स्तर पर देखना है।
So we have to try to see how we are becoming sages of equal vision. We should try to come to that level of being sages of who see with equal vision.
हमें प्रयास करना है उस स्तर पे आने का कि हम भी एक संत के स्तर पे आ सके जो कि हर व्यक्ति को समान दृष्टि से देखते हैं।
Any comments or questions?
आपके कुछ प्रश्न या टिप्पणी है तो कर सकते हैं।
Yes, any comments or questions? Yes, Bolo.
Thank you so much for that. So that we have to see everyone with equal reason, but in practical life, we have to treat differently every person. Like suppose a minister comes to treat differently, a vendor, food vendor, vegetable vendor comes to treat differently. So, like how to understand that people have material qualifications and they are treated differently, but still we have to maintain equal vision. Like we treat animals differently, we treat humans differently. So in the behavior, we do something else, but in mind we have to accept that they are on the equal platform. So this is very dilemma sometimes too.
Yeah, the dilemma there. Okay.
तो प्रश्न ये है कि कई बार तो ये समदर्शी जो दृष्टिकोण है ये बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन कई बार व्यवहार में हम देखते हैं कि मान लीजिए कोई मंत्री आ गए तो उनको अलग तरीके से सम्मान देना होता है, कोई सब्जी वाले आ गए तो उनको अलग तरीके से जो है बर्ताव किया जाता है। तो ठीक है, पशु का बात अलग है, लेकिन जब हम देखते हैं ऐसे अलग अलग व्यक्तिगण में तो इस प्रकार से थोड़ा बर्ताव में बदलना पड़ता है। तो ऐसा इसको कैसे समझें फिर ये समदृष्टि जो दृष्टि।
So thank you very much. You see, this very thesis it's very difficult for people who are grown in patriarchal society to stomach. Very, very difficult. Because this is what we see most of our fathers do. This is what we see most of our uncles did. This is what we see most of our father's uncles, our father's cousins did. So we tend to accept it as is the standard, is normal. But it is not normal. Therefore, it boils down to the same principle or the same problem statement or the same challenge: identity crisis. Patriarchy is rooted in identity crisis. I've seen one of my friends, she invited me to come to present. I talked to the faculty members of the Faculty of Management in our university. She was, at the time, she was the head of the Department of Political Science in that university. Political Science is under the Faculty of Management. So when I went to the university to make a presentation, she was telling me some stories. She was the head of the Department of Political Science in the Federal University. But then the community or the society, that country was a purely a patriarchal country. Now, she told me how one of the professors, everyone is supposed to be accountable to the head of the department. And one of the main professors came to her one day and said, "Ma'am, you know, a woman is not supposed to give me instructions. I know you're the head of the department." And I'm not telling folk tales. I like to be graphic so that you understand the type of problems that are in this world. We don't treat our moms in the home like that. That professor who was mentioning that, he followed the instructions of the mother. But outside, all women are inferior to him. Why don't you treat our mothers like that? That is a bias here. It's called gender bias. If even someone is superior to you just because they are woman, that they are, having a female body, becomes a stigma. So, again, it boils down to the same thing. We are conditioned. And so this conditioning is so difficult to unwind. I've seen situations where the wife is the breadwinner of the house. I've seen cases. Wife is the breadwinner. Husband is just some peanut type of job he's doing. She built a big house for the children and the husband and herself. Yet, the husband wouldn't recognize that she is the breadwinner and treat her with respect. Why? Because we have been conditioned to think that once we are men, we are superior. But it's not true. Can we say, just because we are men, we are superior to the gopis? Can anybody say that they are superior? Can any man say that they are superior to the gopis? Of course, no. But the way we treat the women in our society tells a lot about our consciousness. Some of us, the way we treat the women in our society, I'm not talking out of the moon. There is an ongoing research I'm conducting titled Gender Washing Leadership. And so I've seen cases, even some of Prabhupada's disciples, they give stories about how they've been females, how they've been marginalized in our movement by men. But we don't marginalize our moms in the home. No matter how our mom is harsh, we honor and respect it. So, the idea of Krishna making this postulation here, this proposition here, is to draw our attention to the fact that the discrimination we make based on gender, based on age, is not necessary, because each and every one is a carrier of the super soul. And therefore, they are temples of Lord Vishnu. Each and every one is a spirit soul. And the bodies are just garments. Garments. The bodies are garments. We are heading towards the same direction. In fact, the females are the most devoted. Even in our own system, the best of Krishna's devotee is a man. Huh? Is a man, right? Yes, so see, we speak philosophy. Application of the philosophy is a problem. There are three levels of knowledge systems. There is the theoretical framework, there's the contemporary understanding, or the contemporary dissertations of that very theoretical framework, like we have the commentaries of the acharyas. And beyond that, beyond those two stages, we have the Shrutis. So Krishna says something like this. Those are like theoretical frameworks. In the Bhagavatam, you see the applications going on. You see in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, you see the applications going on. And that is how the pure souls are evaluated, because they apply the theoretical framework in their life. They integrate the theoretical framework or the Shrutis. They integrate the Shrutis and the commentaries of the acharyas, and they live that. So that makes a difference. That brings about transformation. So, a Prabhupada, take an example of our Prabhupada. Prabhupada did not treat the hippies differently. The way he treated the potheads, the same way he treated a journalist who came in, or the same way he treated the Prime Minister of India. This is the situation. And so, yes, we're not there yet. We may not be there yet. This is the framework we need to use as a pivot in creating a viable future for our families, for our society. It might be difficult. And I tell you, I always mention this, integration, for those who have done calculus, integration is the foundation in calculus. Integration, the very foundation of calculus. Calculus is a very difficult subject matter. And the foundation of calculus is integration. Very abstract, difficult. But that is the foundation of calculus. Srila Vyasadeva also mentioned that we have to do integration. He says in the Upanishad, cultivate science and nations side by side. And we're discussing that. So, the point is that we may even read the philosophy, we may even preach the philosophy. We may still not understand what we are saying. This is the problem. It's called hermeneutic, interpretation of the scriptures. Very difficult. And most of us did not even study that. And so, yes, the behavior, the modus, our modus operandi, and modus vivendi, our operational values, and our mindset is, in some cases, they don't, they're not compatible. But we have to align ourselves in such a way that our foundation is based on truth. Our foundation is based on truth. Otherwise, what would be the use of Krishna speaking this philosophy? Why would the use of Prabhupada coming all the way from the comforts of Brother Damodar Temple in Vrindavan to New York? Any of you have been to New York? Been to New York? That's a good place. Those who've been to New York, they know. If you enter New York, you can feel the vibration. You can.
That is a negative vibration, not a positive.
You can feel the vibration. Prabhupada went from the comfort of Vrindavan to New York to help to disseminate this transcendental knowledge. Where Krishna says that we should see a dog eater, an elephant, a Brahman with the same vision. It's a challenge, but we have to practice. Yeah, we have to practice. Because Prabhupada showed in his own personal example how he treated the women like his daughters. How he treated the men like his sons. He treated everybody, like his blood relatives, blood kids. I remember also I was in Montreal in Canada some years ago. And then one brahmachari, he was traveling with some devotees, some brahmacharis on traveling Sankirtan and Harinam. And he came to meet me in the science guest room. He asked, Maharaj, what can I do to help all these young devotees who are traveling with me? I said, you should treat them just like you treat your beloved younger brother. You know what he said? He looked at me right in the face and he said, Maharaj, this is very difficult. I said, what is difficult? You preach it. You sit on the other stand. This is what you preach. That we are part and parcel of Krishna. It means we are one family. So what's the difficulty in treating members of your family with love and care? Say, yeah, I agree with you, Seva. It is very difficult. It is difficult. If someone tells you it's not difficult, then they don't seem to understand it. Oh yeah.
हम देखते आए हैं कि हमारे पिताजी दादाजी भी इस तरह से बर्ताव करते आए हैं। हमें लगता है ये सामान्य है कि हमने अपनी विचारधारा बदलनी। हालांकि कई उदाहरण दे रहे थे। एक प्रोफेसर माता जी का उदाहरण दे रहे थे। हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट थी। एक दूसरे पुरुष प्रोफेसर आके उनको बोलते हैं कि आप हमारे हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट हैं, वो ठीक है, लेकिन मुझे कोई माता जी जो है महाराज जी बोल रहे थे। कुछ कई परिवारों में क्या होता है, माता जी जो है वो ज्यादा आमदनी लेके आती हैं, घर वगैरह उन्होंने बनाया रहता है, फिर भी जो पुरुष हैं वो तो आमदनी की नहीं है, फिर भी वो सम्मान नहीं करते। तो देखिए प्रभुपाद जी ने भेदभाव नहीं किया। प्रभुपाद जी ने हिप्पी जन को भी वही सम्मान दिया जो प्रभुपाद जी पत्रकारों को देते थे, जो प्रभुपाद जी प्रोफेसर को देते थे या प्रधानमंत्री को देते थे। वही सम्मान जो है वो हिप्पी जन को भी देते थे। तो हमें जो है देखिए शास्त्र के जो दार्शनिक तथ्य हैं उसको जो है अपने जीवन में डालना है मुश्किल है, लेकिन तो तीन चीजें महाराज जी बता रहे थे। देखिए एक है जो दार्शनिक तथ्य हैं, वो कहता कि है दार्शनिक तथ्य। दूसरा है जो अलग अलग प्रकार के दृष्टिकोण हैं किए गए हैं वो दार्शनिक तथ्य के बारे में, और फिर वो तथ्य का जो है आचरण। तो जैसे भगवत गीता में या उपनिषद में तथ्य दिए गए हैं, तो उसके बाद हम देखते हैं आचार्यगण जो हैं अलग अलग आचार्यों की जो टिप्पणियां हैं वो तथ्य का क्या है दृष्टिकोण देते हैं, अलग अलग प्रकार के दृष्टिकोण कैसे वो तथ्य से हम देख सकते हैं। और हम देखते हैं श्रीमद् भागवतम में चैतन्य चरितामृत में उसका आचरण दर्शाया गया है। तो ये आचरण की अवस्था में तथ्य को लाना जो है महत्वपूर्ण है। जैसे महाराज जी बता रहे थे मॉन्ट्रियल में कि भक्त जो है वो संकीर्तन कर रहे थे बाकी भक्तों के साथ, तो महाराज से पूछते हैं कि इनको मैं कैसे देखूं, किस दृष्टिकोण से देखूं बाकी सारे भक्तों को। महाराज जी बोले वैसे ही देखिए जैसे आप अपने जो है छोटे भ्राता को देखते हैं प्रेम की नजर से, वैसे ही देखिए। वो भक्त बोलते हैं तो बहुत मुश्किल है, महाराज जी ने बोला मुश्किल है, लेकिन यही तो हमारा सिद्धांत है। आप यहाँ शासन में बैठ के सबको यही तो प्रचार करते हैं कि हम श्री नहीं, हम आत्मा है, कृष्ण के अंश हैं। तो इसका पालन करने के लिए मुश्किल है, लेकिन यही तो हमारा सिद्धांत है, तो इसलिए इसका क्या है प्रयास करना है, इसका प्रयास करना है, चेष्टा करना है। चेष्टा करने से हमारा जो है जो विचारधारा है, चेतना जो है उसका।
So, I think we have to adjourn this meeting. Again, thank you for coming for this evening program, evening class, and we hope to see you again in the very near future. Chila Prabhupada ki jai.
भक्ति वासुदेव स्वामी महाराज की जय। तो आइए हम महाराज जी का हृदय के अंतःकरण से धन्यवाद करते हैं, आभार व्यक्त करते हैं। महाराज जी ने इतना व्यवहारिक और प्रैक्टिकल जो है हमको अनंत तथ्य जो है बताया, और हमारे अनंत दृष्टिकोण को इस प्रकार से विकसित किया है। महाराज जी की हम बहुत आभारी हैं। हृदय के अंतःकरण से महाराज जी का आभार व्यक्त करते हैं। तीन बार हरि बोल बोलते हैं। हरि वासुदेव स्वामी महाराज की जय।
Okay.